How you guys doing today? This is Mr. Muscarella coming at you, and for today's lesson, we're going to take a look at how to find the x and y-intercepts for circles that are in standard form. Now, one of the things we want to think about when we do this are what x and y-intercepts are. And in a nutshell, your x-intercepts, they're going to be right here. They're going to cross the x-axis at some spot. And then your y-intercepts, of course, are going to cross up and down somewhere on the y-axis. So those are going to be the spots that we're looking for a circle. And the thing that's nice is that our circle is going to be in standard form. So when we do this, we're simply going to substitute the value of 0 in for either x or in for y. So let's go ahead and take a look at an example to see what this actually looks like. So this says find the x and y intercepts for the given circle. Now for the x-intercept and y-intercept, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to let the x value be 0, which means I'm going to be finding the y-intercept. So if I let x be 0, then that means I'll have 0 minus 3, because I'm just going to substitute 0 anywhere there's an x, squared, plus, then I still have my y minus 2 part squared, equals 18. So no big deal there. And then 0 minus 3, so that's negative 3. And I'm going to do this a long way. So negative 3 squared plus, and then I still have the y minus 2 squared equals 18. Now, negative 3, when I square that, I get 9 plus, and then y minus 2 again. That quantity squared equals 18. And when I subtract the 9, I get y minus 2, that quantity squared equals 9. Now, this is really nice right here, but you have to be careful because most people know, like, okay, you're going to square root both sides, but be really, really careful that when you square root the right-hand side, you do plus or minus the square root of 9. Not just the square root of 9, but plus or minus. Everybody knows the square root of 9 is 3, so I have y minus 2 equals plus or minus 3. When I solve for y, I'll get y equals 2 plus or minus 3. All right, so when I take a look at this, I'm going to have two different possibilities, and one of those possibilities, when I have the y equals 2 plus or minus 3, I'm going to have y equals 2 plus 3, and then y equals 2 minus 3. So I just split that up into two pieces. When I do that, I get y equals 5, and then when I do the arithmetic on the other one, I get y equals negative 1. So that means the coordinates for my y-intercepts, I'm going to have 0, 5, and 0, negative 1. So you always want to write that as coordinates because that's how x and y-intercepts are notated. So there's our y-intercepts. Now, let's take a look back at our x-intercepts. So to find x-intercepts, it's going to be kind of the same process, but this time we're going to plug 0 in for the y. All right, so I'm going to let you go ahead and hit pause right now and do that and see what you come up with. So how'd you do with that? Hopefully, you got an x value of 3 plus or minus the square root of 14. So when you write that as a coordinate pair, you'd have 3 plus the square root of 14 and 0, and 3 minus the square root of 14 and 0. As a decimal, you'd end up with 6.741, 0, and negative 0.742, comma 0. Now there's a technical thing right there, just so your teacher's never confused and that we know that you definitely mean that there is nothing in front of the 7. Be sure you put a 0 as a placeholder in there when you write a decimal that does not have a number in front of it. So that's it for this video. By now, you know how to find the x and y intercepts for an equation of a circle that is given in standard form. Be sure you check out the next video on how to find the x and y intercepts for a circle that's given in general form. That's it for now, and I'll catch up with you later. Peace out.